Hey friends, it's Billie and welcome to TLDR, the show where I run down the latest episodes of Session Zero so you can keep up with the chaos. If you didn't know, Session Zero is a weekly Twitch show of episodic D&D adventures. Introducing our players! Callum Upton, the Bard, Rage Darling, the Barbarian, myself, BillieTrixx as the Sorceress, and our head of the NPC department and Dungeon Master, Josh Strife Hayes. Join us to explore an endless series of potentially unfortunate events. In this week's TLDR, I'll be running you through episode 1, so let's jump in. Our first adventure sees the group heading towards dangerous waters as Josh leads us to potential doom and dismay in a seemingly harmless village where there has been some fishy behaviour. Callum showcases he cannot be trusted with pets.
I used to have a pet Siamese fighting fish, and it died because I forgot to feed it.
And Rage communicates to the mayor of this town in interpretive dance.
Are you able to kill these fish? Give me the answer in interpretive dance.
The quest required adventurers with combat experience to take down the local giant fish problem they were having every night. The quest was sent out by the local mayor, who seems a bit sus in his gross stinky house. Not before long, the party get in trouble as Callum annoys a fisherman with his flute.
You're going to walk up and just flute him in the face. Roll a d20 to see how well he takes that.
Not well, I would imagine.
Rage makes a deal she definitely can't keep.
And you want to take the spade?
Uh-huh.
If I give you this, you must protect the blacksmiths at all costs.
Yeah.
And the gang digs a fish glory hole.
I have an idea. Dicky hole. Fish.
You want to make the lake bigger?
No, like a glory hole.
Not before long, Billie is dressing Callum up as a child after stealing a pair of the local kid's pants. Taking advantage of the poor blacksmith, Callum steals a bag of nails to use in his flute as a dart gun.
Use your flute as an improvised blowpipe. However, every time you use it, you will play a high-pitched note.
Will it pay off? Unfortunately for Callum, karma bites him in the arse as I decide that he should be the bait for the fish. Next up, Josh reveals the special of the day, and on the menu it's gross upright salmon with legs. Ugh.
Like an upright salmon, almost like you've taken some Action Man legs and just stuck them on the side. And it's got its mouth facing up to the sky and it's got its eyes kind of forward, like a reverse mermaid.
A barbarian move everyone was expecting, a classic rugby tackle into the floor with a fish. This poor fish is kind of blown into oblivion, into the same hole where Callum is trying to take out the one that's already paddling around his legs. To try to combat the fish, Callum tries to sing it a song. Unfortunately, his flute playing is not the best and it just made the fish more angry.
To play a song to soothe the fish.
Oh, go on then.
Swiggity swish, soothe the fish.
Play the flute, Callum.
Trying to help the party out, I send an icy blast into the floor, hoping that it would lock their feet into the ground. But of course, I rolled low and it just resulted in them being slightly inconvenienced for a second. Something that absolutely nobody saw coming, Rage tries to convince a dog to round up the fish.
The dog looks kind of towards your pointing, but more out of curiosity and less out of understanding.
Go, get it, go.
The dog just begins to run around in a circle. He's excited that something is happening, but he does not know what you're asking. Rage, while you are attempting to incite a dog to commit fish genocide, Callum, what are you doing?
Not before long, Callum actually does something.
Yeah, so meanwhile, I've been like arms and legs out, ninja warrioring my way up the hole. I'm going for the back of the knee.
That's the noise of the nail flying through the air as it impacts the back of this fish's human leg knee. You can hear a tendon snap as it drops.
The nails in the flute genuinely paid off, and I don't know how. It's honestly a miracle. If you thought you saw this coming, you were wrong. What likes fish? Cats. Cats love fish. Of course, Sorceress Trix turns Callum into a giant cat, who is now called CALLUM. That is canon.
Callum into a big cat.
Callum, do you consent to this?
Screw it, why not?
In the hopes of putting a little fishy on a little dishy. The party finally calls a giant house fire with a shitly aimed fireball, and Callum slaps a fish.
Well and truly on fire.
Saw it was the fish.
It took an hour this time for us to burn something down, so we're doing well.
This fish, his day has been, he saw Rage running toward him and slapped him, which spun him in one direction. He looks down and sees a relatively big cat who reaches up with its paw and just slaps it back in the other direction.
The saviour of this episode definitely has to be Rage as she comes along and saves the fish queen, in which we find out that the mayor was sus after all. I knew it.
and punch the glass case open.
You smash your fist straight through it so hard that as soon as your knuckles touch, the crack on the glass spreads to every corner.
Finally, Callum shares way too much information about what parts he can lick as a cat.
I've been able to lick areas that I have never been able to reach before.
And of course, we threatened the mayor into giving us more money because 15 coins from the fish people to, give back their queen was not really the ticket.
Where the mayor, still on his knees, is still contemplating the loss of his prized fish queen. Rage, he looks at you. Callum, he looks at you. And then Billy, he looks at you and he goes, it's in the drawer. Over in the drawer is a small leather pouch with 15 gold coins in it.
That's more like it. 30 now.
Note to self for next time, set a price. The party threatened the mayor into giving them more money before heading on our way to our next money-grabbing adventure. Join me next time to recap episode 2, Origins. See you soon!